Okay, so we're just continuing with this question. Determine the simplified expression for area of the shaded part of the figure. Then calculate the area if x equaled 1.25 millimeters. Okay, so we're doing the shaded area. We'll call this one number 1, and we'll call this one number 2. Okay, so area 1 equals length times width. So we know that the length is 3w, and the width is x plus 7. X plus 7. Okay, so now we're going to take 3x and multiply it by everything inside the bracket. So 3x times x gives us 3x squared. 3x times positive 7 gives us 21x. Okay, so there's area 1. Now let's do area 2. So area 2 says it's x by x, so that's easy. Length times width equals x. I'll do a little dot there, times x, just so it doesn't get confusing, which gives us x squared. So now we have to figure out the total area. So we have to figure out area total equals area 1 subtract area 2. Okay, because we want to find out just the shaded area here. So we have to take out this area 2. So we have 3x squared plus 21x, which was area 1, subtract area 2, which is x squared. Okay, so we can collect our like terms. So here is an x squared, and here is an x squared. So we have 3x squared minus x squared, and then we just have plus 21x. Okay, so 3x squareds take away 1x squared, you're left with 2x squareds, and then plus 21x. Okay, now that's your final answer here. And now we have to calculate for when x equals 1.25, okay? So area equals 2x squared plus 21x. And now everywhere we have an x, we're going to plug in 1.25. Okay, so first things first, in our calculator, we will have to figure out what 1.25 times 1.25 is. Okay, so squared 1.25 times 1.25. I don't have, oh, I do have a squared button here. 1.25 squared. Okay, so 1.5625. So I'm going to leave that all 1.5625 plus, and we have 21 times 1.25. Okay, now we're going to multiply everything together. So 1.5625 times 2. So take our answer, times it by 2, and what do you get? 3.125. So this is 3.125 plus, and now we have to multiply this, 21 times 1.25 gives us 26.25. 26.25. And then when you add these both up together, I'm going to do it over here just because I'm short on room. 26.25 plus 3.125 gives us a total of 29.375. 29.375. And we can round this to 1 decimal point, which would be 29.4. And because they're using millimeters, this is in millimeters. Okay. Last question is volume. Determine the simplified algebraic expression for the volume of the figure. Then calculate the volume if x equals 2m, y equals 3m, and z equals 1.5m. Okay, so, oops, wrong one. volume equals on a cube is length times width times height. So a rectangular prism cube. Okay? So we'll have our length. Let's do width, height. The order doesn't really matter. This probably made more sense to be height, but when you multiply them together, you'll get the same thing. So we have 2x times y times 3z plus 2. All right, so we'll do one step at a time. Let's multiply these together first. So 2x times y just gives you 2xy. And then we will multiply it by 3z plus 2. Okay, so multiplying this by everything inside the bracket. So 2 times 3 gives us 6. And then we just have x, y, and z. It looked a lot harder than it was. And then 2xy times 2. So 2 times 2 is positive 4. And then we still have xy. So that is our final answer. But now we need to sub all of these in. Okay, so volume equals 6. Instead of x, we have 2m. Instead of multiplying it by y, you're multiplying it by 3m. And instead of multiplying by z, it's 1.5m. And then plus. And then we have a 4. Our x is 2m. And our y is 3m. Okay, so we can multiply. Oh, silly me. You don't really have to put these m's in. I just had a brain fart. This just represents meters. I'll be okay. All right. So 6 times 2 is 12. Let's multiply it all together so you can see what I'm doing here. Just moving it over. Okay, 6 times 2 times 3 times 1.5. Okay, and so that equals 54 meters. Plus 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 3 is 24. Oops. Plus 24 meters. And then 54 plus 24 gives us 78 meters. And because it is volume, it's cubed. So 78 meters cubed is your final answer.